Hey everybody, Kenny here. Welcome back to our Visions of Mana playthrough. Last time we finished the whole Enavadan of Light thing. And now we're on a quest to speak to the Goddess of Mana to hopefully be quested, or you'll be given a quest to go and just revisit all of the other areas so that the wheels can finally come off and we can just actually play the game. The best moment in any JRPG. So we are heading towards like the Jackseed place. Payday Cliffs, that's what it's called. No new side quests. When it comes to side quests in a game like this, you have to knock them out as they come or else they overwhelm you. Yeah, best example of that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Which, mind you, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 like, you don't get overwhelmed by like the existence of side quests. You know, like by the fact that, you know, side quests open up wherever you go.
Yeah.
You get overwhelmed by the fact that the devs made the insane decision
Yeah.
to not bother
Yeah.
giving the player like that you know, didn't bother giving the player access to all of the side quests until they were at the end of the game. Like, you know, because they're like, oh, but these side quests wouldn't make sense if you were to be able to do them in the area right when you were there, because there's story implications, and no one cares. Literally no one cares. There's no one who's going, hey, you know what I really want out of my side quests? I want my side quests to provide more background on things that happened in the main quest of the story. No one has ever said they want that out of a side quest. That's why they're side quests. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. If you want to give players extra stuff to do, give them the extra stuff to do. No one cares how they get it. The only thing they care about is whether or not you're wasting their time with it. We can do all these right now. Actually, were there some in that other starting area that I forgot about? Might have been. And then bother checking when we walked into that area. I definitely have everything here. Okay, I have everything from here. Everything in the next area. Oh, Ish isn't with us. Okay. Not sure what that's about.
Hear us! Such vigorous vegetation! Yeah!
Alright, so this is the one that we need to do.
Guide us! To where have we been warped?
You're a couple centuries too young to be fighting us.
My thanks! Earthquake! On guard!
Watch out! Watch out!
The insolence!
Almost to the finish line!
The ins at once!
What's this lucre used for?
Emerge! It is pulsating with power. Maybe items in... Could this be?
Lattice scales. This item to reset character elemental plot progression. Huh. Okay.
Yeah! I will take this.
I mean, hopefully that refunds all of your points.
Such vigorous vegetation.
If that's not what it does, then I do not understand the point.
Yeah! There is something supremely suspicious about the space ahead. We should
Like there was an item like that in
manifest.
in the Trials of Mana remake, and like I don't think I ever mentioned this before.
Yeah!
Like back when the Trials of Mana remake came out, like I've mentioned previously that I played it a lot. I played that game a lot. I love that game. What I don't believe I ever mentioned,
Might we exchange these This area is veritably virulent.
can't reach it from there. what I don't think I've ever mentioned
I will
before.
take
Okay,
this.
that's what this is for. Let's just get up there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've mentioned before
Here.
is that like when that game came out, I was actually planning on doing like a big series on it. Like not like a playthrough series, like an actual like edited video series thing.
Elsewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
But like this was when I was still very new to video editing. So even though I've been making YouTube videos since 2014,
Yeah. To where have we been warped?
like I didn't go to school for for video editing or anything like that. So
Yeah.
Let's just get this over
Stupid
with.
boomerang. My thanks.
like I always been like had very like very subpar like video editing skills because of the fact that it's just not part of my background.
Once.
That's no fuss.
Much obliged.
Truthfully,
And
I am disappointed.
but like but that game like I liked it so much that I was doing like a whole like I was planning like a whole like series on like showing off like all of the different character classes and like the different play styles that you can do, and like, I was doing like little movies for each one.
It is correctly calibrated.
And
It is correctly calibrated.
like so like so because I worked on that so much, like I spent a lot of time
What wondrous
like
way. Found something of fantastic value.
right one.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time just like trying to. So like I would reset, so I had like a save where I had all of the like the respec items, and I would just use it for like respecing the characters to like record different footage for different things, and I never ended up doing it because of the fact that I had such a
It is correctly calibrated.
like my suite of a video editing knowledge was so poor that I never felt happy with anything that I made. Things right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but getting that item like reminded me of the fact that I had spent so much time, like I recorded so much footage to to make those videos, and never ended up going anywhere. Oh, by the way, like so as of this session, this is going to be like my last recording. I mean, it won't matter for anyone who's watching this, but like this is the last recording I'm gonna be able to do for a bit. Like so, like I just wanted to get to the point where the wheels came off before I did this. I need to I need to finally hunker down and process all of the sessions for before this one. Because basically, like I processed like the first 15 sessions, and as of so the Monday after I'm recording this is when sessions 11 through 15 are going to be up on the channel. So
Hear us.
like I need to start processing sessions 16 through 30 for the following 3 weeks. Have everything from here. Yep. All treasures, all element type. Good. Let's go straight there.
This trick of teleportation is truly terrific.
Just in case, let's heal up a little.
There is much about the world that I do not yet know. We can be at ease here.
And have a little
There is much about the world that I do not yet know.
quick save. Just in case there's a boss fight.
I wish we'd been able to thank Trent for his help earlier.
He probably saved our bark back there. Goodbye, Convoy. Hello, Calamity.
I was so desperate to get Hina's core stone. I almost lost myself. We owe him.
Who knows? We might get another chance to show our appreciation to Trent.
Hello, Trent. Don't you make us fight Trent. Don't you dare. Trent's our boy.
Alms, I see you have returned.
Phew! You had me worried, Trent. Thanks for the help with Delaphos earlier.
Your thanks is unnecessary. As the overseer of the sanctuary, I could not sit idly by and allow harm to come to the Alms in the midst of their pilgrimage.
Trent? As in the sentry of the sanctuary? Watcher of the Alms' passage? He is much larger than recorded in the texts I've read on the subject. Could I perhaps... Not now, Aish. Focus.
As for you, Soul Guard Val, here is where the escort's journey ends. I have bidden farewell to many a Soul Guard in my time here as the Overseer. However, you have been appointed as an Alm in your own right. You may proceed onward to the Mana Tree with the rest of the Alms.
Thank you. I am honored to fulfill my duty as the Alm of Light. But before that, I want to talk to the Mana Goddess.
Curious. I would inquire as to what you have seen and heard on your travels that would prompt such a request. Please enlighten me.
We know that Delaphos is planning to take his revenge on the Mana Goddess, but we don't know why.
He's going around reviving benevolence to stir up trouble. Sure, we defeated 3 of them already, but that's not the point.
The point is that Delaphos is regaining strength, and now he looks really weird and really menacing. We can't let him keep going like this.
Before long, he will arrive to assault the sanctuary. We seek a way to stop his progress, but we need the goddess's guidance.
You plan to stop Delaphos yourselves? Yet again, you surprise me.
We feel partially responsible for his resurrection and sudden rise to power. Plus, he still has Hina's core stone. I have to fix this before I can give my soul to the cause. Please understand.
Your plight is noted. It is not my wish to place any undue burdens on the Alms, nor on the goddess of mana herself. But I believe I am coming to understand what the elemental spirits saw in you when making their choices. There is change brewing in Kidiel. Steel yourselves, Alms. You may enter the sanctuary with my blessing. Prepare your minds and hearts for when your souls will be necessary, and for what purpose you have been called.
Ominous words, my friend. We'll stop by after we hash things out with the Mana Goddess. How about you wish us luck on our way?
Very well. Until we meet again, Alms, take care and keep a weather eye out on the road ahead.
Thanks. We'll try. Now it's off to see the Mana Goddess.
I'm not okay with them giving Trent teeth. I do not understand why they did it. He is a tree. Should not have teeth. You may enter the sanctuary. I believe that you will be able to overcome whatever awaits you in your future.
Okay.
The area inside the sanctuary should be free of monsters, but we must keep our guard up nonetheless.
Curious.
Trent, the wise overseer of the forest. If our schedule permits it, I would be most honored to be granted an audience with one as esteemed as he.
Yes.
Surely the goddess will share with us some sage advice and counsel.
Yeah.
We're almost at the Sanctuary Mana. Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay.
We're finally gonna enter the sanctuary. Say, I wonder how the goddess has been doing lately. Guess we'll see. Yeah, so at this point, like since anyone who's reached this point has invested in in what's going on in the story, so you know, like most likely will not mind like any like spoilers of the old games from this point. But like the thing that I've been kind of like holding off from saying the whole game, the thing that I keep on kind of alluding to whenever the topic seems to come up, like I believe that when we walk in there, the Mana Goddess is not going to be the Mana Goddess. Like I'm pretty sure that what the thing that's going on here. So the reason like that they have the whole like alm cycle in this version of the world, and that like because like this was something that like I started suspecting pretty early on, like specifically when we first saw the fairy, and that like I've just become more more weary on like as we have moved forward. Like it very much feels like all of the elemental spirits in this version of this version of the Mana world, like that they're all kind of in cahoots on the whole Alm thing, and that like it's like the fairies, and because like the fairy is the like the fairy is basically like a leaf off the tree. Like the fairy is basically like like a child of the Mana, of the goddess of Mana. That's how it is in like every Mana game. Fairy is like a child of Mana. And then and then the spirits are the spirits. They are the representations of the elements. But like the fairy, the child of Mana, has been going around for generations speaking, and and generally whatever children of Mana exist, they are not long lived. They aren't fairies like Shakespeare fairies or anything like that. They aren't like fey creatures that live for like eternity. And they have very set lifespans, and generally, their purpose is to fulfill the wishes of the Mana Goddess. So, to fulfill the wishes of the Mana Goddess in her place, and then return to the Mana Goddess to rejoin with the Mana Tree. So, like the fact that Fairy is working with the elemental spirits to send alms to be sacrificed to the Mana Goddess, or to the Mana Tree, like says that there's something up. There's something wrong with this with this whole situation, and it could just be that because the old cycle was that you had the, as I mentioned at the start of the game, the very original thing from Final Fantasy Adventure was you had the Guardian of Mana and the Sacrifice of Mana. And again, you had the so the old, the Sacrifice becomes the new Mana Goddess. And then when the Sacrifice becomes the Mana Goddess, then the Tree of Mana is rejuvenated, and the world is secured for another generation. It's a so this is a sacrifice that happens once per generation, not once every 4 years, once per generation. But for all of these people, they're doing it, sacrificing 8 people every generation. I mean, actually, not every 4 years, they're sacrificing 8 people. It's okay, there's something real big going on. For them to need to sacrifice that many people to the Mana Tree, to become because it's not like everyone every 4 years they become the new Goddess of Mana. That can't be what's going on, because that's not any of the lore that exists. So if they're doing this every 4 years, most likely there's a very malevolent force that is that is trying to satiate itself on the souls of the chosen of the elementals. And if the elementals are in on it, then that means that those most likely aren't actually the elementals. I guess I've been feeling that from the beginning, because the fairy does not look like the fairy. The fairy looks like a fairy. It looks like a fairy that you would normally see in many, fantasy things. But the thing is, they've gone through very obvious things to represent the way that things from the previous games looked. They went very far to make sure that Trent looked like Trent from Legend of Mana. They went very far to make sure that all of the spirits looked like the spirits from the other games. They went very far to make sure that the trees looked like the trees, that the houses looked like the houses. They went very far to make sure that everything looks in line with the stuff in the previous games. And the fairy looks nothing like what the old fairies look like. The old fairies are very different than what we've been seeing in this game. Now, it's entirely possible that they just decided that one thing was going to be the thing they were going to change. That was the one thing they weren't going to stick to the style, I guess, of the Mana games. It was just the look of the fairy. That was the one thing. But I don't believe that's the case. I'm pretty sure the fairy is... this is a Bravely Default situation, if you understand what that means.
The Sanctuary of Mana.
Karina, wait!
Oh,
That's gotta be the Tree of Mana.
wow.
It's beautiful. Almost familiar in a way.
Familiar. Yes. It makes sense that you feel that way.
The fairy.
Dropping those eaves as always, I see. Life begins with the Mana Tree. And when your time in this realm is over, your soul returns here to continue the cycle of rebirth.
Oh, then the Mana Tree oversees not just the Alms, but all creatures. It's where all souls end up.
When the world was still Fadiel, the Mana Tree was in the spirit realm, right?
Yes, if Kijiel Isle had not been created, you would never have had the opportunity to see the mana tree.
Incredible. If only I could tell everyone back home what a stunning sight this all is.
We've wasted enough time looking. It's time to get some answers.
How might one find the goddess in order to seek an audience?
Follow the path and it will lead you to her. Be sure to stay on the path, though.
Sanctuary of Mana.
But that's...
Monsters? Here?
We never had monster infestations before. There goes the neighborhood.
The barrier around the Mana Sanctuary is meant to be impenetrable. However, I happen to have several hypotheses over the origins of these sanctuary monsters. Some species might have been trapped inside of the barrier at the time of its fabrication. Or perhaps specific species are able to puncture...
Oh my, Master Aish is muttering to himself yet again.
Let him talk. Maybe he'll bore the monsters to death.
We should get going, but be careful, everyone.
I didn't account for monsters once we were in the sanctuary. What could be the cause?
Leave the hypotheses to Aish, Morley. We got bigger fish to fry.
Finally, a lucky break. Now that I'm an Olm, I can protect you all the whole way.
Assist us! I feel the spirit's favor.
You ain't gonna do nothing, Val. You're gonna sit tight, and we are going to take care of everything else. Because we don't need you. We have never needed you.
Don't waste too much time on this.
Appreciated.
That's no fuss. Onward.
Just one more.
That's no fuss. A nice reward after all that work.
Secured.
Eight elementite, 5 treasure.
If there were trapped species inside of the barrier, we must take into account the change in habitat. Could evolution have played a part in creating this many subspecies? Or perhaps...
Should we permit him to ponder uninterrupted?
Words will not reach him at this stage, I believe.
It figures. Aish, stop falling behind if you don't want to find your own way.
I'm not gonna do it, but I'm very curious if you can actually just jump from here and just air dash to that treasure there. Hey, Griffin Claws. Hello, Griffin Claws.
For your assistance.
We've been needing your thing.
Appreciated. Filthy! Surrender! Surrender! No!
The spirits will answer our call. It's useless to run. Oh, we might get some use out of this.
King Rabbite Core Stone. What? Were there Rabbites in there? I only noticed the Griffin Claws.
What wondrous wares! I have found something of fantastic value!
Golden Mirror Sigil.
Secured. I have gathered some grizzly syrup.
It would have been nice to have Hina here to see this.
Yeah. Shh. She would have loved this view.
Then I'll be sure to soak up as much of the atmosphere as I can, for her sake.
That's the idea, Karina. I'll do the same.
Something dreadful draws near.
We shouldn't get too cocky.
Perish on thunderstorm.
The insolence! The insolence! Watch out! Surrender! My thanks! Honor! Surrender!
What's this lucre used for?
Hear us! I feel the spirit's favor. Might we exchange these elsewhere?
So figured out this bottom part. Go west and around.
I will take this. I have gathered some grizzly syrup. I will take this.
Look what the cat.
Sylvan boomerang! Give up! Surrender!
Keep them coming.
No! Gladly.
Appreciating. My thanks.
Thanks for that.
The insolence!
Keep them coming. We've got quite a lot of lucre. There's no need to be so frugal.
Might we exchange these elsewhere? Mana! I feel the spirit's favor.
Oh, that's just an element type? Because we're sitting in that thing, I thought it was like a special water thing, so I was like, oh, where are the bubbles? Oh, flying jellyfish.
I will take this.
What went through the minds of the Alms of old as they walked this path?
Our thoughts often turn to those we left behind in times such as these.
Bittersweet to reminisce, but my heart still feels warm. I'll bet you the alms of the past will give us a warm welcome.
What wondrous ware! Let us avail ourselves of this acquisition.
Don't look like we miss anything.
Hear us!
Oh.
I feel the
Horsemen.
spirit's favor.
These enemies tend to be very difficult.
Time to finish them!
Sylvan boomerang! Appreciate it. Sylvan! Surrender! The insolence! Give up! Yes! Sylvan!
insolence! The insolence!
Better get out that elemental vessel!
Perish!
That's the rest.
At once! Thunderstorm!
Surrender! Surrender!
We've got quite a lot of lucre. There's no need to be so frugal.
Secured. We can be at ease here.
Manifest!
It is pulsating with power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might we exchange these elsewhere?
So all souls return to the mana tree eventually. In that case, I wonder if Orin and Liza are back yet. Hey everyone. We made it.
I am sure your voice has reached them. What wondrous wares! I have found something of fantastic value!
Pick a knife. A lot more magic attack. Don't know why we'd want that for Morty though.
Everyone, proceed with prudence.
Perish! Watch out! Filthy! Watch out!
We got moved. Your move.
Onward! Earthquake! Surrender!
Oh, those chess pieces.
My thanks.
No!
Much obliged.
Yes!
That's the last.
At once.
I need you.
Submit!
I'm all right. Thank you.
Perish! Watch out!
Thank you.
Surrender! The insolence!
Much obliged.
Back up!
Yes!
Should have seen that coming.
Add a few new core stones to check out when we get back. Fortunately, I don't think we've got any of the Griffin Claws, which is the one I wanted. Three different chess pieces here.
I will take this.
But they're all just chess knights, but
Yeah!
I will be your opponent.
oh no.
Earthquake!
But they're all called chess knights, but I don't know. Okay, so it was
My thanks.
two of the chess knights, one of the. Oh no, they are all called chess knights. I got Moogled again. I've been the Moogle. And like I said, like that's always a very dangerous enemy type.
Here.
Every game they show up in.
Now.
Launch a blast.
Back up. No. Watch out. Here. Watch out. Submit. No.
That's the last.
At once. Surrender. The honor.
Our forces made this outcome an obvious one.
I wonder why the ones over there were called golden chests and these are called chest knights.
What wondrous wares! I have found something of fantastic
Executive
value.
casting non-elemental.
Yeah. Yeah. Manifest. Yeah. I feel the spirit's favor. What wondrous wares could this be?
Palace of Chain. We got all the treasures and all of them in type. Thing we got. Extra ability slots for Jule. Okay, so Jule has theirs. It's just Val missing his 6 slots.
Might we exchange these elsewhere?
We can be at ease here.
Okay. What's gonna happen? Any boss fight?
The path stops here.
Then how do we get to the Mana Goddess?
Fairy could well have indicated the wrong route through the sanctuary. Her directions were vague at best.
Do not doubt that you are on the correct path.
It's Vidiz, the White Dragon Princess. Golly, what are you doing here?
You, your companions, and even I must face whatever future lies ahead of us, come what may.
Don't worry. Vidiz is like Trent, an emissary of the goddess.
Can you tell us how to continue on the path ahead?
I am the keeper of the future. How you choose to proceed depends on the answers you provide. There are many roads you may take, each with their own consequences. Do you understand?
I think so. We have a choice to complete the pilgrimage, or not. But that decision is why we've come to the goddess. Please, let us speak to her and ask for her wisdom.
After learning the truth, how will you feel? Will you accept it?
The truth?
Have you the strength to face the truth of this world? I do not know the depth of your conviction, what resides within your heart. Make me understand your intent. Your hearts will lead you along the path you seek.
She wants actions, not words, then.
We must convince her of our conviction.
This is like the
This Vidiz.
Uska fight.
Hand to drink. Now come.
Thanks for that. Watch out.
Submit!
Surrender.
How dare you? How dare you?
Better get out that elemental vessel.
Okay, so
When
choose
killing
fire
plants
or
bear
dark.
fruit, one must bear in mind the myriad disasters they will face. Extinguish the bane that threatens to incinerate all.
Really think about what she's telling us.
Test your might.
Don't have any ice. Nobody has any ice.
That is correct.
How fortunate! Watch out! Selfie!
I mean, at least you don't need the correct element. Oh, no, the opposing element, I should say.
The insolence! Watch out!
Behold your next triumph.
Bring it on. I'm ready for anything.
As many rounds as it takes.
Though mortals yearn for the future, they are hindered by the shackles of their past. Expel the knowledge that leads mortals astray.
A riddle? Shall we offer a reply?
Think carefully. Well done.
How fortunate!
The insolence!
Watch out! Watch out!
Hopefully the next one doesn't, like, cause the colors to change. That would be very unfortunate. Stop breaking our jars, guys.
Final one?
Please.
Then we go all out.
Ain't over till it's over, Vidiz.
As Alm of Light, surely you can decipher the truth from that which is false. Discern your truth, and yours alone.
We put our trust in you, Val.
Test your might.
I didn't even move it.
Well done.
How fortunate!
Appreciated.
That's way too much XP for fighting a bunch of rabbits.
Now it is clear to me. Those strong enough to break free of their fate. Long have we prayed for pilgrims such as yourselves. You may be the heroes that the goddess of mana has needed all along. Go forth and create your own future.
Thank you, Vidiz!
Never did I consider the possibility that I would be in the presence of the White Dragon Princess. I attempted to note down every riddle, but ended up too absorbed by the fight to offer assistance.
Thanks for that. At least you were entertained. Come on, we're nearly to the mana tree.
I must calm my mind and steel myself to meet with a goddess.
We can't talk to her.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick.
Let us ponder our next plan.
Aha! Nice to see that this place hasn't changed. No monsters either. Looks just like it did back in Fadiel times. You have had a long journey, but the mana tree is just ahead.
A long and laborious journey indeed.
The Alm's final destination.
And yet, we aren't here to offer our souls like those that came before us. We need to meet with the goddess.
Tree of Mana.
Coda, the Alms have arrived.
Coda? Huh?
I am the guardian of this sanctuary.
There are humans living within the barrier? That's news to me.
Living? No. I am but a strong will given form. Consider me like one of the spirits. To put it in terms you may understand, I am the first in the long legacy of soul guards. You passed Vidiz's trial admirably, Val. I should not be surprised given that you are of my own bloodline.
You're my ancestor?
If we assume that long ago, people from Tiania were chosen to stand guard over the Mana Goddess, and that practice has held over to this very day. Aha! Then he is the origin of the Soul Guard tradition.
My mission remains unchanged since I first accepted it. Protect the Goddess of Mana.
Do you know where we can find her, Guardian Coda? We need to speak with the goddess as soon as possible.
You may refer to me as simply Coda. Trent and Vidiz have relayed your current plight to me. Come. I will take you to the Mana Goddess.
One of my ancestors is here? In the sanctuary? Well, I can't keep him or the Mana Goddess waiting. Time to go.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the key art for
Yes!
the remake of the original Final Fantasy Adventure called, that I've mentioned previously, that they called like Adventures of Mana or something like that. Like, that is the main character in that version of the game. Basically, they made that to canonize the visage, I guess, of the main character. But you don't mind you, it's very different than the version from the Game Boy game and the Game Boy Advance game. Like, in both of those, it was like a guy with long hair and with long blonde hair. But they went and they're saying that Val is the descendant of the original hero of Mana.
Curious.
This is the first sighting of the Guardian of the Sanctuary. Will there be an opportunity to record this for future generations, I wonder?
I see.
Coda is quite a curious creation to have come across. Maybe things hiding from us. Yeah, like, you know that thing I said previously about, like, she has like a lot of like alliteration. Like, here's another example of that. I wonder why it is that they do that with her. Because it doesn't come out whenever there's like a voice acted thing from her. She never talks like that. Only in like when you talk to her in any of these situations. can't remember how long it's been since I saw the goddess in the flesh. Well, maybe not flesh, but you know. This is where generations of alms before us have given up their souls to rejuvenate the cycle of mana.
Yeah.
Not really ready to talk to the goddess? Let's see what's going on. No secret treasure. On this side, anyway. Okay. No secret treasure. I'll accept it. Pretty. Oh, very pretty. And again, and this right here, this image of the mana tree comes straight off of the Secret Mana Super Nintendo a game box. That exact image of how the mana tree looked. Like I said, you know, they've gone to a lot of trouble to make sure they're replicating the looks of everything from the previous games. Except for one thing. See if that's explained now.
Goddess of Mana. I'm Val, and these are my friends. We've come here to ask for a moment of your time, before we offer our souls. Delafos has broken free of his seal, and is going around the world setting the Benevodons loose.
His only goal is to get his revenge on you, Goddess. You have to do something.
We have so many questions to ask. About Delafos and Core Stones, and my strange ability. All of it.
Goddess?
I promise we're telling the truth. Please listen to us.
We fully intend to sacrifice our souls when the time comes. But first, we have to protect the world from this danger.
She cannot hear you. The goddess of mana is unreachable in her slumber. She has not once awakened since she first fell into this long, long sleep.
Not a single source I have read has ever referenced that the goddess was in this state.
No one has ever been allowed this deep within the sanctuary. Her condition is not known to any others.
But Delafos is breathing down our necks. The goddess was our last hope.
Coda? How did she end up like this?
Vidiz believes that you can be trusted to make your own decisions. So, I will tell you. Tell you how this all came to be. The truth behind this world.
What could have happened to the goddess? Coda should have some answers at least.
Huh?
Goddess. Coda has kept the mana goddess first and foremost in his thoughts.
Our
Goddess has been asleep this whole time? How come I didn't know any of this?
My.
Truth of this world. Whatever could that be? I must know. Let's hear what Golda has to say. Then we can decide what we want to do with that information.
Fadiel, the world as it was once known in the distant past, was made up of 5 realms: the spirit realm, the mortal realm, the mystic realm, the ethereal realm, and the arboreal realm. Mana power once flowed freely through these places, and Fadiel knew only peace and prosperity. Until one day, mortals, in their greed, sought to use that power for warfare. The flow of mana was disrupted, and the 5 realms became perilously unbalanced. The mortal realm consumed an enormous amount of mana, plunging the mystic realm, home to the Benevodons, into disarray. The divide between the realms weakened to the point that all worlds merged into one. When the mana dried up, the monsters unleashed their wrath.
The discord that had driven people to degrade the powers of mana ended, and their battle against the Benevodons began.
The goddess wished to save the mortals from suffering at the hands of the Benevodons. So she asked Fairy, her emissary, to find Deilephos, name him her champion, and bequeath unto him the Mana Sword. And as promised, he successfully subdued all 8 Benevodons. However, he refused to return the Mana Sword, and instead swore revenge against the goddess, after the death of Cerulia.
Is that what changed Deilephos so drastically?
He lost the person most dear to him.
Sounds like Deilephos couldn't come to terms with her passing.
Indeed, Deilephos saw no reason to care about a world bereft of the one he loved. So he turned against the Mana Goddess. She ended up using all her strength to preserve a corrupted world. With her power exhausted, the goddess then fell into a deep sleep. It was up to the Guardian of the Sanctuary, namely me, to stand against Deilephos with the help of the Elementals. But it was not enough. We struck each other at the same time, resulting in his stone imprisonment and my destruction. Only my will survived. If only I had been stronger.
So, Coda, Deilephos, and I all carry the same pain within us.
It doesn't add up, though. It does not add up. Because as I said, this is like if you just look up like the cover art of Adventures of Mana, like this is the guy you're gonna see on the cover. And if this is supposed to be that guy, then are they saying that Deilephos was like summoned by the goddess of Mana after he did what he did in the original game? Because it's very important to understand whether or not that's the case. Because the old cycle of mana is what created the Mana Goddess from his generation. So, was it his Mana Goddess that did it? Or was it a different Mana Goddess that did it? You know, like, is he the same character, or does he just have the same design as that character?
Oh dear.
The theatrical at the Playhouse was not entirely accurate in their portrayal of the end of the story, it seems. Even after borrowing the powers of the elementals, the Guardian couldn't defeat Delphos entirely.
Oh.
I know, I never heard about this whole thing. Dryad must have not wanted to worry the Sproutlings over such a hard-won battle.
Well...
So the goddess has been asleep since the start of KDL. So Cerulia died a tragic death after all.
So you're the one responsible for that boulder by the entrance, huh, Koda?
Yes, though he managed to break free regardless. With the help of the elementals, I was able to divide Deilephos' terrible power and seal it away with the Benevodons scattered across the land. But I underestimated the strength of his hatred. His power was steeped in animosity, which bled into the surrounding lands, creating horrible disasters in its wake. Eruptions will scorch the earth with fire from every fissure. The wind will rage and the winged fall flightless. Pure waters will run foul and disease spread. Soil that once brought life turns all to dust and stone. Verdant lands will wither away and seeds will cease to sprout. The glaring light will obscure the boundaries of reality. Darkness will deepen, breeding monsters in its wake. The moon's hold over time will splinter, depriving all beings of logic. What people refer to as prophesied disasters are actually the curse of Deilephos' power upon the land.
Then, the source of these disasters was never the Benevodons at all. It was a curse, brought about by a single man's folly, from the very start.
Strong emotions revitalize mana power. In addition, Deilephos had access to the energy from the mana sword itself. The elementals tried to stop Deilephos' curse from running rampant. Their powers suppressed the worst effects from taking hold. But with the 5 realms now combined, the flow of mana slowed to a trickle. Elementals couldn't maintain that balance indefinitely. And so, without anything to check its dangerous powers, the effects of the curse spread throughout the entire world. Tortured by the curse of Deilephos, mortals turned to the goddess for help and offered up sacrifices. Alms. Alms would travel to the mana tree and freely give up their souls, their life force, to the sleeping goddess. As I mentioned, strong emotions bring about mana power. With the souls from faithful alms, the flow of mana was rejuvenated, for a time. Powers restored, the elementals could once again suppress the effects of the curse. But after 4 years, their stores of mana would once again run dry.
That's why the alms have to go to the mana tree to stop disaster from befalling our villages.
At the end of their pilgrimage, I would change the alms into core stones to give to the goddess.
Core stones? Wait, you can...
Yes, Val. Your ability was passed down through my bloodline. Originally, it was used to return monsters to the flow of mana. Reintroducing life into the flow of mana was how Faudiel maintained balance.
So then, what I did to Hina...
Oh, Val.
Sooner or later, that fate was waiting for her in the end.
Yes, as it waits for all alms who come to the mana tree. Your souls will be given to the goddess to protect the cycle of mana, including the soul of the Alm of Earth that you possess.
Liza's?
This is all we can do until the mana goddess reawakens.
What's that?
The barrier is under siege.
Whoa, what
is going on?
It's probably the Benevodons. Looks like they're trying to break through.
This is Deilophos' doing.
What'll happen to the sanctuary?
There is no need for alarm. The Nevedons hold great power, but not as great as the sanctuary itself.
They're retreating.
Oh. Good.
There is no sign of the man himself. Perhaps Deilophos intended this attack to serve as a diversion?
Deilophos and the Benevodons are still a threat to us all, just like in the past.
Things aren't looking so good for the world if these monsters run free.
If the goddess is unable to grant us aid, we must muster our own forces. It is our chance to fix the future.
Our loved ones need protection. I'll do it alone if I have to.
We've already defeated 3 of these things. The remaining 5 will be a piece of cake.
Coda, we need time. I promise we will offer up our souls, but we have to take care of the world first. We will stop the rest of the Benevodons and Deilophos before he hurts anyone else.
I do not have the power to stop you either way. Do what you feel is right. The decision to fight should be left to the living. It is your duty, as protecting the sanctuary is mine. I believe your group of alms has untold potential to rejuvenate the flow of mana. And more.
More what?
It is not important. What matters is that as long as Deilophos has the Mana Sword, he will continue his assault on the sanctuary, and the goddess kept safe within.
Then we'll just have to reclaim the sword ourselves. It's the only way to keep disaster at bay.
Returning the sword to its rightful place wouldn't hurt either.
You should keep the core stone of the Alm of Earth. Abiding by the will of the Alms is important, after all.
Coda is putting a lot of faith in you. I think you'll be able to handle the road ahead as well.
Vidiz has also acknowledged their worthiness. It is time that I trusted in people once more. Though I cannot lend you my own power, I can at least release that of this little one.
Emmy is going to become Flammy. Guardian of Sanctuary. Complete Chapter 6. Now we can fly.
Ramco, is that you? What happened to you?
I do believe this is the sacred beast Flammy. Ramco must have been Flammy the entire time. Flammy has made many documented visits to our world, but I never dreamed I would be in her presence.
Oh, I get it. Ramco was just another form of Flammy to begin with.
Her wings are the fastest way to convey you to the Benevodons. Make haste, Alms.
Thanks.
Sacred Beast. Fly on Flammy for the first time.
Flammy can take you anywhere in the world you want to go.
Ramco, you got so big. Big and strong enough to carry all of us. All the little ones grow up so fast.
Remember that Flammy's power can only fly you around for so long. She'll revert back to her cub form when you land. Just use the Flammy drum to summon her whenever you need to fly. Whoa! Now then, what's your plan of action?
If I may, would you be so kind as to return me to Lagrazzo?
She says it would be her pleasure.
Then, to Lagrazzo we go.
Now then, with Ramco's permission, shall we be off to Lagrazzo?
There's probably something in those archives that can help us with the Benevodons. Let's go.
Now we can go to the flying
From
island.
up here.
It feels a lot more spread out when you have to walk, huh?
It's colder in the sky than I thought. Is everyone keeping warm?
Thanks to Ramco's cozy coat, I am more than comfortable.
But this thing wasn't one of the Benevodons. Just really weird mountains, apparently. Weird mountains that do not blend with the rest of the environment at all. I still think that's something, but we'll see.
Ramco must really like the sound of that drum, huh?
We'll be relying on her a lot from now on.
Thanks for all the help, Ramco. You're the best.
Oh, I see. Those are for while you're moving around. Not for setting down.
An excellent landing, young Ramco. Brava! Now then, I will begin the process of compiling what I observed within the sanctuary for analysis.
You're not going to help us with the Benevodons?
It grieves me to say it, but I must decline. Though please keep in mind that I want a full report on your exploits. I will add it to my account of this historic situation we find ourselves in.
I suppose he is the best suited.
It's okay that you want to analyze your data, but please don't let the information that Coda entrusted you with turn into gossip.
Of course. Not to worry. I take great pains to compile my notes in secrecy.
If it isn't the head curator and the rest of the arms, you're safe. Oh, we were worried when we heard the Benevodons were attacking the Mana Tree.
I am as well as can be expected, thanks to the Mana Goddess's barrier. Word of the Benevodons' revival has spread, I see. Have you determined where the monsters have appeared? perchance?
Reports indicate that disaster is spreading to the lands that house the Benevodons. Besseroth, Benevodon of Wind, has been spotted in the Vale of Longrin. And Tormarni, Benevodon of the Moon, near Aetern. Gandum, Benevodon of Water, was seen outside of Illistana. While the Benevodon of Wood, Florit, is stalking Vertius Burrow as we speak. Scribes have already been sent afield to collect what information they can.
Curious. The Benevodon of Fire has not been accounted for. Is there no word of Volkibel?
No reports out of the Tiania area as of yet. Our theory is that the Fire Benevodon still slumbers.
I see. I suppose that is good news. It seems you all have 4 Benevodons to take care of at present.
I can feel it. The flow of mana power in each area has changed. You could start in any location, but time is of the essence.
My word! An emissary of the goddess! What a singular wing shape! Would you mind if I sketched it?
I'm afraid I'm in a hurry.
We should get going too. Good luck, Aish.
Farewell. We will meet again soon, I'm sure.
Let's focus on the 4 monsters we know of. So, Val, what'll it be?
Leave it to me. We can head out now.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't add up. Doesn't. Like Val is apparently the descendant of the hero from the first game. But in order for the hero of the first game to have challenged Aelphus, that would have to mean that he was the mana goddess was his mana goddess, the one that he brought to Sanctuary. Which means that he would have to have had children before heading out on his journey, which didn't happen. Because like even in the game, like even in Sword of Mana, like the only version of that story where they actually flesh out like who the hero and the sacrifice were. Even in that version, and there were no other like he had no other relatives. You know? So like no matter how you do this, like he was an orphan who went and became the guardian of the sacrifice. They could become the goddess of mana for that generation. But once again, like it was for that generation. You know, like no one can be the goddess of mana forever. Like, you know, it has to be a new sacrifice every generation. Because they're just, you know, like the mana wears them out and they just fade away. There has to be a new sacrifice every time to create a new goddess. But this has been going on for hundreds of years now. So what is going on? Anyways. We're going to sit back down in Lograzzo. Is there a side quest there? Next time after this one, I'm gonna start up rendering all the sessions. But the next time I record, we'll be starting off by grabbing up all of the side quests. Then you know, clearing out every single area in the game. Actually, before we do that, let's go and what new seeds do we have? Pearlbat. The Daneslave Core Stone. Slash and dark damage. Keep the change. Change core stones for ability Cs 30 times. Never got the Blustergas one. Got the Kid Zombie one. Okay, so I have River of Fire. What was the King Rabite for? Definitely got a King Rabite one. Weird. We definitely got a King Rabite Core Stone. Not sure what's going on. Anyways,
Coming in soon.
we're gonna call it. Finally reached the point where we can do almost everything. And the fact that they specifically called out, oh, the Benevodon of Fire is still slumbering. Still slumbering. Motherfucker, we just saw him blasting fire at the shield at the Monastery. What the hell are you talking about? He... like he's still slumbering. How is that slumbering? They're blasting fire. They're awake. Like, I'm sure, like, you know, they just want us to do that one last, but that is annoying. That is annoying. Still slumbering. We literally saw him. It was in a cutscene. We just had a cutscene with all of the Benevodons in it. Anyways, for this one, thanks everybody for stopping by and checking me out. Doing the playthrough, appreciate the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Victus, Lars Maris, and bye.
Let's plan our next move.